Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. I just wanted to do a January wrap up of what all I got into in January, reading and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So at the, my plans for the year in general have been just to kind of slow down and make time for other things that I enjoy doing. And my reading really does reflect that as I read way less than I usually do, and it's okay, it's okay. And I enjoyed a lot, everything that I read, and I just had a really good month. So I'm enjoying, just slowing down a bit, taking my time, enjoying the other things that I've been spending time on, all that kind of good stuff. So I did do a mid-month check-in, so I'll briefly mention those books, and I'll link that video below if you want to hear my further thoughts of the first sort of 4 things that I read at the beginning of the month. So one was the short story Taken by Canada by Colt, Alcove. And then I read the Reformatory by Tananarive Due. All the Stars is fantastic. Go read this book. It's amazing. Tananarive Due has knocked it out of the park with this one. It's wonderful. Snapdragon by Kat Leyh. I forgot to grab my book, but I loved this too. Graphic novel, middle grade graphic novel, really exploring friendships, and I loved it. It was so good. And then I read Binti Home, the second book of the sort of Binti trilogy by Nnedi, Okorafor, and really good continuation of the series. So now I just got 1 book left, and I'll have done that series. What an amazing thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. Okay, so now into the things that I don't think I talked about in that first wrap up of the month. Let's talk about Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. I'm really not sure if I pronounced that correctly. It's translated by Antonia Lloyd-Jones. This is translated from the Polish. And this one is a really strange book. Okay, first of all, I don't even know how to describe it. Let me get my thoughts together. So basically our main character is this sort of older woman. First of all, she's an older woman, which is pretty wonderful. And she and kind of 2 other people live, year round in this really kind of isolated little alcove, a little village almost of, and in the wintertime, a lot of people don't live there, but like I said, these 3 people live there. And right towards the beginning of the book, one of them is dead. So this man who they know and have lived with for many years now, he has turned him dead. And this leads to a sort of rash of murders, because another guy turns up dead, another guy turns up dead. And so, there's this kind of, at once it's like, what's going on while there's people getting killed, right? So there's that part of the story. But really it's about this woman and her life and living in this kind of small community. She has some very strong views about hunting and things like that, and about being an older woman and kind of moving through the world as an older woman. She teaches English at the local little school and things like that. It's very, like I said, it's a very strange, the way it's written is just very strange. But there's just a lot of discussions in here about the invisibility of older women, which I just really appreciated, and for that I think it's worth it. But I will say, this book is not going to be for everyone, because truly because of the writing style. At times I was wanting to DNF it, because I was really confused about the point of things, but something just compelled me to keep going at the same time. So it was a very strange dichotomy when I was reading this book. I like this, but I hate this at the same time. Very, very strange. But I really wanted to stick it out, because I wanted to see what's going on, why all these people were getting killed. And so it's not I wouldn't call it a murder mystery even. I wouldn't even go into it thinking it's a murder mystery. It's really a more character study about these sort of interesting, cast of characters that live in this little village. And I don't know what else to say really, because you're either gonna like it or you're not. So if you're looking for sort of a cold weather setting, definitely give it a go. If you're looking for books that have characters that are older women, absolutely clicks, checks that box for sure. I ended up really liking it, but like I said, the journey along was a bit of a struggle, and it was just a weird one, and I don't know what to tell you. Just, if you're interested, give it a go. But just know you might not click with it, so be just prepared to like maybe give up on it. I don't know. I ended up really liking it at the end. Like I said, at the end of it all, I was like, that was really good. So do with that what you will, I guess, is my point. I then followed it up with Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. This, of course, was our book club pick for the Death by TBR book club. I am co-hosting with Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books. We had several people join us, so thanks to those that joined us. There's definitely some good discussion and on the Discord. I'll link that Discord below. There's Kelly's Discord. We got a little section for the Death by TBR book reads, and I loved this. I really loved this. I went in both expecting to really enjoy it, but also like a bit about it, because I know this is written by a dude, right? And even the people said it was really good, I still was kind of like, sure, right? So because our main character is a middle-aged woman named Mary who is going through sort of perimenopause. She's just, at that sort of season of life where, things are changing and all that. And I was like, what's this dude know about it, right? Yeah. So I had that, kind of thing going on too. I was like, sure, whatever. Okay. But anyway, and I ended up really liking it. I think just because it was really strange. I got a little like strange stories. There was strangeness going on here, and Mary was just like, I don't know. There's a very interesting character, and I really just enjoyed reading about her. And again, just as another sort of older woman that was represented in this book, which we don't see very much, of course. And yeah, so I don't know, I just really liked it. So like I said, Mary's dealing with, like I said, sort of the changes of life with, hot flashes and just like mood, just all kinds of the stuff that we're going through now. Something that I identified with very much as a 46-year-old woman. And yeah, so she gets fired from her job at the very beginning of the story. And so she also, like, one of my favorite tropes is when someone has to go home again, after years of not being at home. So she goes home to take care of her sort of estranged aunt that, she's called her, so she needs her to come and take care of, kind of help her out. She's not doing well. We learned that Mary's parents, have passed away, but so her aunt, was part of her childhood, but their aunt is a character, man. The aunt is a hoot. She's this hard-ass, like, smart-ass woman. I don't know, but kind of abrasive and hard to get along with, I think. Yeah. So Mary has feelings, but she ain't got nowhere else to go because she's, like I said, she just got fired. She's a bit down on her luck, So she goes back home. And then, so she starts learning things, things about her town and things with this sort of old kind of hospital place and family history, the family history of that, how it connects to some other things, and something's happening with Mary, right? So something's happening with Mary. Is it just this normal sort of hormonal changes, or is it something else? What is going on here? There's sort of a cult aspect in here. It goes weird. I just loved it. I just really loved it. It did get a little bogged down in the middle. I know some people, definitely felt this was a bit long, and I could see that, but also I just was like, I still really loved it, at the same time. So yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Really liked it. I was impressed with how, Mary as a character, was handled in here. Again, written from a male perspective because, again, this is a male author. And there is a little thing in the back of kind of an author's note about, why he decided to write it and all that kind of good things too. So, I underlined a whole lot in here. Yeah, I really liked this. Some quotes, the real curse of womanhood is that we never get to forget that we have a body. And I don't mean And I don't just mean because we have to look or move or smell a certain way. I mean biologically. We're so tied to these stupid fleshy things. Every month they remind us that it's all out of our control and we can't even see what they're up to. So there's a lot of just, you know, women's bodies and how sometimes they're just literally out of control. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. I had a great time with it. And I think it was a really good book club pick. You know, it definitely sparked some discussion, I think. And yeah, so thanks again to those that joined us for reading it this month or in January. And yeah, I ended up really loving it. So I have nestlings also, so definitely looking forward to that one too. And yeah, I'm definitely, you know, keep an eye on old Nat Cassidy, what he's got up his sleeve next. So I did really enjoy that. Okay, let me jump to some Edgar Allan Poe. I, of course, participated in Kat over at Kat's Novel Adventures. She had a little kind of week-long event. Was it even a week? Yeah, I think it was a week-long of just celebrating Edgar Allan Poe. I think it was his birthday. Kat was what it was in January. And so, yeah, I really dug into some Poe short stories, some of which were and poems, some of which are rereads and some I hadn't read before. But I reread The Raven. I listened to all this on audio, which I actually never listened to Poe on audio, so that was fun. So re-listened to The Raven. That's always really good. Mask of the Red Death, which I really don't think I'd ever read that one before. So finally got to Mask of the Red Death. That was good. Telltale Heart. That is probably still my favorite Poe story. It's just so good. I just really love that one. Remember The Bells, The Cask of Amontillado, which is good. Follow the House of Usher, Berenice. Is it Berenice or Berenice? And The Man Who Was All Used Up. So that's kind of what I got to. Just, yeah, short stories for Edgar Allan Poe. And that was really fun. I had a good time with that. And that was a really good event, Kat. Thank you for letting me get into a little bit of Poe. And then, so lastly, let's talk about a book that totally took me by surprise. And I'm really just as surprised as you are how much I absolutely loved Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison. So this was part of the Catuary event. Catuary was run over a Patreon only event It Came From the Page, and it was just a cat themed thing. And one of the prompts was to that cats have no lord, a book someone told you not to read. And I remember when Dead Inside kind of first came out, it was making the rounds, and a lot of my bookish friends hated it and just were like, it was the most, you know, it was the grossest thing I've ever read, and yada yada yada. And I was like, oh god, I don't want to read it then. So I kept, I won't read it. I don't think I'll like it. And I'm still curious. This is what, 2 years later? I feel like this book came out 2 or 3 years ago now. And I just still was really curious. So, as also part of the Kindle Kobo clean out, I did have the book on my Kindle. And so I said I'm gonna read it. And I did it. I'm so glad I did, because I flippin' loved this book. Okay, first of all, I loved it. And again, I'm just really as surprised as you are. Is it gross? Yes. Is it like really kind of absurd at points? Absolutely. Is it some crazy ass shit that goes on in this book? Yeah, it really is. But is it also come across to me as like pure dark comedy? Absolutely. So basically you've got this dude who works at a hospital, and he's like, you know, the security guard, works the night shift, and he has a certain affinity for dead bodies, okay? And so that's his thing, right? So he gets it on with dead bodies that are down in the morgue. Let's just be frank about what's going on in this book, okay? So you know what to expect if you are also still curious like me, okay? We also have another character. This doctor, she's like an OBGYN, she, you know, delivers babies and stuff. She has a thing, she has cannibalistic tendencies. I'll leave it at that. They kind of stumble across each other because they're working at the same hospital, and they identify that little twinkle in their eye, you know, that they say that we're kind of same. We're kind of similar people, right? We have this dark side to us. And so they kind of start this little, I hesitate to say a relationship, but like a relationship. And it just goes bonkers from there. The people are eating people and having sex with all kinds of dead things. I don't know. It gets crazy town, okay? It's fun. It is crazy town. But for me, it just, like I said, it just to me read as pure dark comedy, satirical even, I would say, because they're these horrifically unlikable people. Like, they're doing horrific things, okay? And it's on the page. The horrific things that they're doing are on the page. So yes, it is a gross book to read, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Do not read this if you don't want to read this gross stuff, okay? I'm just going to say it because it's on the page, right? So there's these unlikable characters doing just, I mean, awful things, just awful things. But I found myself just smiling and chuckling because, again, I almost feel like, for me, the author was just, I don't know, maybe having some commentary about maybe horror in general, particularly extreme horror. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I just didn't take this at all seriously. As far as like, he was writing this like as a serious book. Like, these are, I don't know how, if I'm making sense right now. I'm hoping what I'm trying to say is coming across, because this was fantastic and it was beautifully written. I'll say beautifully. I think that Chandler Morrison's a heck of a writer, is what I'm saying. And I'm reading all of his books now. So, as I say, if you're still curious about Dead Inside, about what goes on, and you think you can kind of look past here's what I think what I wrote for my Goodreads review. If you go into this book thinking you're just going to read gross stuff because it's gross, you're going to hate it, I think. If you look into it, like I say, if you go into it with the expectation that it is a dark comedy, I think you'll enjoy it. And that's how I would say to go into the book. If you haven't read it yet, you're still kind of curious, approach it as a dark comedy and then see kind of how you feel on the outside of it. You still might hate it. You still might think it's just the grossest thing you've ever read. But, go in with that mindset and just see how you feel about it. If you still want to read it. I cannot stress enough the gross things that are in this book. It's true, okay? But, again, I kind of chuckled and smiled my way through it. I loved it, you guys. I loved it. I'm surprised as you are. I know. I hear you saying, Crystal, what's wrong with you? I don't know, but I love this book. Okay. So that's kind of how I ended up my month. And I tell you, I had a hell of a month. It was a really great reading month. Favorite book of the month was absolutely The Reformatory. I think this is definitely going to be on my favorites by the end of the year. This will be the book I think that every book will be chasing from now on as far as a fave. It was fantastic. I do want to mention, I do have a few DNFs, and I'm just going to mention them because I'm mentioning them, and really it's because of the Kobo Kindle clean out. So that was an event I co-hosted with a bunch of other folks. I'll list them all below, and where we're focused on reading e-reader, or sort of ebooks that we kind of neglect on our e-readers, and I did okay with that. I checked off, continuing a series by reading the Binti books. New to you author was Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I used that one. And I did do some organizing. I still need to do some more, I realized after all that. And then the rest of these I did tick off, but they're DNFs. But I'm ticking them off because I forgot to talk about this short story collection. I'm going to talk about that in just a bit. So a few DNFs, but I'm taking them off of the list because I deleted them, well, all but one, off my Kindle. So I forgot to talk about Vile Visions because I didn't write it on my list. Oh my god, this list is incomplete. So I did read Vile Visions, Horror Stories by Odell. This was for the prompt to read my newest book. I don't know when I picked this up. It's a short story collection, horror stories. Overall, I thought it was actually a pretty good collection. Had a good time with a lot of those stories. Like a collection, some are hit or miss, right? But overall, a really solid collection of all kinds of different horror, and I recommend it if you like horror short stories. I'd give it a go for sure. The cover is great, and it was a good collection. So I did finish that too. So I DNF'd The Perfect Son by Barbara Claypool White. Okay, so I was nervous about reading this one because I thought this was one of my Down syndrome project books. It was not, but I'm pretty sure why it got on my radar was because it's set in North Carolina and does feature parents that have a child with, you know, a sort of disability. So that's probably why I got on my radar, right? So yeah, like I said, it takes place right here in North Carolina where I live, and the mom of the situation is flying into RDU, and she has a heart attack on the plane. Over. Okay, so that's how the story starts. And then like back home, we've got the father, and then the son, which we learn has Tourette's. So that's where I was like, okay. And I loathed the father so much. I was not about to read a full book of this father hating his son so badly. And this was in chapter 2. Okay, the way he talked about his kid, no thank you. All he kept saying was, when is my wife gonna get home so she can take care of him, so she can calm him down if he has like an episode where, and she should be here because we had this agreement where she takes care of him and I don't do any of this. So he doesn't know how to do anything with his son. And I was disgusted. And I was not going to read about this piece of shit dad anymore in this book. Okay, and I feel really good about my DNF because I did go to Goodreads and I found a review of a woman who has a kid with Tourette's and kind of was like, oh yeah, this was not a good book for her. Having, sort of a life, not Tourette's herself, but that kind of life experience of parenting someone with Tourette's. And she was like 1 star in the book, and I was like, okay, I feel very confident about this DNF, and I deleted that book off my Kindle. I will never return to it. Gross. Okay. I also DNF'd Into the Matinee by Keiichiro Hirano. I feel sad about this one because I thought maybe I would like it. I could not get into it. This is a Japanese working translation. I think the characters were going to end up being really kind of insufferable, and I just wasn't interested. And so I let that one go too, and I deleted it off my Kindle, so it should be gone. And this is a DNF for now, and I think it's just my mood, because I did start Code Red by R. St. Clair, and I was enjoying it, but I just wasn't picking it up, and I think it's just not right now kind of book. So I'm gonna pause on that one, come back to it again, because I do want to read it. This like vampire book, and I mean it sounds really cool. I just couldn't get into it right now. I do think I could get into it at some other point. So I'm not deleting that one from the Kindle. But anyway, I feel really good about the Kindle Kobo clean out event, and I didn't get to quite all of the prompts, but that's okay. And like I said, I did do a little organizing and deleted some things out of there that I'm just never gonna read, and I'm gonna do a little bit more organizing too to get things into sort of categories and stuff. So yeah, it was good. So if you joined us for that event, thanks for joining us, because yeah, that was really fun. Okay. I think that's it for reading. So if you're just here for reading, you can go ahead and check out. I do want to talk a little bit about the things that I watched and stuff like that. I did talk again about a few of these, like watching The Uninvited and the show Between Us. And I watched the show Even Son, which was cool. We did finish Echo, on Disney Plus for the Marvel show. Really loved that. I just really, really, really enjoyed that. I finished a Korean show called Love Tractor, which was so sweet, and it's about this kind of a city guy who's it's kind of goes back home again, or kind of thing. So he's helping his grandfather out, and he lives in more of a rural area, where there's farming and stuff like that. And he's having some trouble with like university, and he's got a real rocky relationship with his father. I don't know, whatever. And yeah, so and then he meets this kind of local guy, and lo and behold, sparks fly. Y'all, it was so good. It was so sweet. Okay, and then we watched The Uncanny. That's part of Andrew's Weird Movie Club over at Came With This Age. And that was a crazy movie, and it was crazy town. And I think that was it. I did start watching Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, so I am doing just a little really easy breezy, low stress watch along for Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. It's a K-drama that's on Netflix, and we're up to episode 3 now. We're watching like one a week. Like I said, very casually and just chatting about it on my little Discord that I have, which is mostly K-pop. But I have a little section now where we're talking about like K-dramas and Thai dramas and whatever we're watching. So, and I said, let's do a little watch along. So yeah, we're watching Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, which is so good so far. We're really loving that. So yeah, I started that, and I'm still in the middle of some other things like DFF and The Sign. And I picked up Happy Ending, which is another Strawberry series, which I loved. Chocolate milkshake so much, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's okay. Alrighty, so I think that's about it. I did finish my I say finish, but I did a little deep dive into the K-pop group The Boys. I feel really solid with like being a fan now, and you know, picking some faves of the group, and just I'm really excited about that. And so in February I'm going to be deep diving into Extraordinary Heroes, and more kind of K-rock band, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, that's I had a really good month. And again, I really like that I'm taking the time again to, you know, spend some time watching the shows I want to watch, some movies that I want to watch. Not just being so like I gotta read all the time, right? Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's working for me so far. And now just, you know, of course it means I read less, and it's okay. It's okay. Alrighty. I think that's it. I will link my Discord below. Again, if you want to either chat about K-pop, or again, if you're interested in watching, or letting us know what you're watching, if you're into, again, K-dramas, J-dramas, Thai shows, whatever you're watching, let me know. If you want to kind of catch up with us on Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, you can. It's really cute so far. Anyway, that is it. Thanks so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me today. I hope that you had a great January. Let me know what you got into, what you read, some favorite things that you watched. I want to know all about it. And yeah, that'll do it for me today. And yeah, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? Okay, bye.